We talked in October because you wanted to accelerate your growth. What it seems like is first, it took about 4 months, maybe 5 months for the website to really gain traction. And then you hit like a new level of wash and fold. And then things were going up. And then we spoke in October. We did a consultation. And that's something we're working to do even like more of, which is, having customer success agents reach out to new clients at the 30 and 90 day mark. We spoke in October, and then you implemented a lot of those things, and you could see the revenue just kind of hit a new level as far as growth. And I think you guys are still in the growing phase. You want to grow this as big as possible. As far as different takeaways or different things that you feel like made a difference?
That's a good question. We did completed the full retool of the store. That was done in June. Then we started operating the store with the new equipment. In about the September-October timeframe, I'm looking at the revenue streams and understanding how financially the company is operating, and I'm getting a little nervous. So I reached out to you. Actually, I don't know.
The curbside conference.
Yeah, it was after that, and you had said, "Hey, Craig, talk to me, and we can just real quickly chat." And I was like, "Okay, Matt." And so we arranged for the meeting. You got on the phone. I remember I showed you all the numbers, and you were cautious with us. You were like, "Be careful. Try to do these things." And you gave us a couple of key hints. You said, you have the website that we developed for you. So Curbside developed our website for Monster Laundry. And you gave us some clues about how to put that net out there better, so that when somebody's searching for pickup and delivery or full service laundry, our website would naturally gravitate to the top and they could select us. So we took your recommendations and implemented those in the website, worked with your team over at Curbside. Amazing. The web side team, they're just very responsive, and they help us with things, and we can ask questions. Well, what about this? And they say, okay, this is the way. I see a lot of benefit with the partnership between Monster Laundry and Curbside, in the sense that you're absolutely offering the point of sale system and the suite of package. Yeah. But we also augmented with getting a website through you, and people have talked to me, hey, why'd you do that? Why don't you build something your own? But the long expertise your team has with setting up that net is very effective, and I believe part of the growth after the October conversation had to do with the changes we made, because we made them right at the end of November, and then we started seeing ticks based on that net we threw out. We've consistently advertised. There's different areas that we've tried to go out and get customers and drag them into the store. I think there's a bit of momentum going also, and I expect our momentum, at least from the self-service side, to continue throughout the rest of this year and probably into the next, where I don't think we're at full capacity for self-service at all. But we've saw quite a bit of an uptick there also.
I noticed on your website you've got so many original photos, and that's something I always preach, because when people go to the website, they don't want to see stock images. That's boring. It's almost like when you see bad AI pictures with a person with 2 fingers, you just say that's fake. And it's almost like they discredited you. They wasted your time. Why did I spend time looking at that? People want authentic. They want real. I think that's why people watch this podcast, is because it's real mom and pop owners. We're in the same exact boat. It's authentic. And same thing when they go to your website, they want to see real photos, and you've done that. And those pictures convey a lot of information we don't even realize. Like, even the background that you have right now just conveys so much. You could tell there's a care about branding. You got, beautiful wash and fold, the color scheme, the logos, the laundry bags. You could tell there's a love in there, and that gets conveyed through the photos. So it's like you guys have nothing to hide. You have a beautiful brand. What that's doing is it's setting the foundation for growth. Imagine like Kentucky Derby. You got like a great horse in the race, because it's, thoroughbred. And so there's always things you could do to grow. But when you take time to grow that foundation, put thought into it, you have a higher opportunity. I think you guys are just going to continue growing because you have a great brand, and you can tell there's love. So I see one of the bags is now missing, one of the delivery bags. So I guess that's heading out for delivery. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Our delivery driver just came in, and so that's there you go. That's pickup and delivery in real time.
So I was just asking about what your 1 year or 5 year, where you see yourself, 1 to 5 years from now.
Absolutely. With a 1 year window, we expect this laundry to double again, or at least double. From June to March, we tripled our laundry throughput. I would hope that we would triple again in a year, if not quadruple. That would be kind of the trajectory there. Just getting to the point where we're at right now took quite a bit of energy. So I see that in the next couple of years. What I've learned over the last year, and Michelle's learned also, is that the pickup and delivery side of the business is a slow growing piece. It's not fast. You need to be in for long term, and it's a slow growth over time. We do acquire customers every single week. We have, I think, about 5 to 6 new customers that come through.
Either drop off or pickup and delivery.
Yeah, as a drop off customer, pickup and delivery. And that's a growth pattern that we expect will continue. We have many people that are just visiting Sacramento, and they need their clothes washed and dried and folded. And then we have folks that are more regular, consistent, recurring type customers.
That's what we found too, is the self-serve is the fastest growing part of the business. Then wash and fold, drop off, and customer drop off in person, and then pick up and delivery. But then as far as long-term trajectory, now our pickup and delivery outshines our self-serve just because we've been able to expand. We're able to pick up laundry 30 minutes away and have like a really successful route in a big radius all around us. I was doing some analysis, and there's, through our text message marketing, somebody created an account, but they never placed an order. Then we sent out the text messages, said, hey, we noticed you created an account, but didn't place an order. Here's 10, 15 bucks off your next order. They wound up placing an order, and then in about 1 year's time, they wound up spending about $1,850. That doesn't happen every time, obviously, but if we didn't send out the text message, that person would have come and gone, and she turned into a weekly customer. Pickup and delivery does take more time, and it's not even about the person who orders once. What we're really focused on here are the guys who are ordering every week, every 2 weeks. It's part of the regular rotation, and the other guys who order once or twice. That's nice, but it's really all about the repeat business. And that kind of goes back into Monster Laundry being the Nordstrom of laundry, taking care of your customer, because we're in the service industry. So you've done all the right things as far as branding. So I just see, really bright future for you guys.
Yeah, I would just add to that, the customer service end of it and securing the pickup and delivery customers. We've had many customers that call and they shop around. And if you're not able to get right back to them, you'll never get them. And Michelle's able to land many. I mean, you have plenty of examples of where you've landed customers and sealed the deal.
I think with pickup and delivery and drop off, it's growing. It just takes a lot of patience. I mean, there are times where we don't see a growth, but they are actually growing. We have a lot of customers that comes to us by word of mouth. They use it and then they recommend it, and then it just keeps going. Getting like bigger contracts, I think it's being able to get on the phone really quick and calling them back, because they are shopping around. They're shopping to see not so much as to how much it costs, but more about how our service can match what they want, what is going to make it easier for them. So we try to do what we can to kind of help them, especially bigger commercial business or business that's coming here for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks and they want to offer laundry service to their employees. So we will go pick it up. We do offer free pickup and delivery, which is kind of great. We're able to, with curbside, separate each billing. So under like different locations, we can put different people, which is great because they get like their individual bill and individual invoice. And I told them we can also create individual accounts for each of them. So they just put their credit card in and it gets billed. So these little things like that, it helps them. So the main person doesn't have to figure out all the cash and all the money. So it's just calling them quickly and then making sure that what we can provide aligns with what they want and make their job easier.
That's a great point. On those commercial accounts, they're by their computer. They found you online. They're not driving around Sacramento to find your laundromat. They saw your web presence, and that is their touch point. That's their main touch point with you. The second touch point is the phone call. And if they get voicemail or fill out a form and they don't get that immediate return phone call back, guess what they're doing? They're not going to wait till next week to continue their search. They're continuing on the pathway to call the next guy. So that's, great advice. Another thing you touched upon as well as on the invoices, we've got a lot of experience how customers want the invoice through the curbside software. So it breaks it down to location. If it's a multi-location like Airbnb, they might have this property and that property. They want everything individual, but still a grand total. That's something that took us a bit of time to develop, where I saw another software company release, hey, we just now have commercial billing or invoicing, but then it's like, oh, that's where we were about 7 years ago.
One of the things with curbside that at least I on the operation sides love is just calling you guys, and then you get a live person on the phone. And sometimes I tell them, I say, I'm so sorry, this might be a really dumb question, but they're like, no, there's no dumb questions. And they just kind of like walk me through, because sometimes I just forget one little click, and they kind of walk me through really just great. And I always get a live person. If you leave a message, you guys call me back. I'm on their Facebook group, and that's great. And I'm going to say, like, I put a question out during the weekend, and I had other owners help me, but I think Chris called me on Monday because you told him to reach out to me because I asked a question. So it's just kind of like all these little, like customer service, like, which is what we want. It's just amazing. And then also you guys listen to suggestions from like owners and then just kind of like build it out. So I think that's one thing that I love, that because
Absolutely.
As we're growing, we're like, oh, maybe this might be better, maybe that might be better. And you guys are listening to what we want and what we need in our business, and then trying to kind of give that to us.
I would augment that. The tech support department of curbside laundries is, bar none, it's hitting the 10 mark for sure. They'll let you know if you're not able to do something. Most of the time it's like, oh no, we've got that, this is the way you do it, and they'll walk you through how to set it up. We know certain things are coming with the program, we're excited about that, and we're excited to grow with curbside. I'd almost say, if we're the Nordstroms of laundries for Sacramento, curbside is the Nordstroms of software for laundries.
Oh, thank you. I just love the boutique operations, and then you're helping people. That's what we're all about, both at curbside and supersides and Monster Laundry too. So any words, kind of wrap things up, any words to somebody who's kind of on the fence, thinking about getting to the laundry business or pickup and delivery?
Be prepared for a long haul, for sure. Patience, tenacity, for sure. There are so many things that have gone into this operation, and one of the central themes is the curbside system, and it's helped us grow to where we're at, all the way from just simply selling a Tide Pod to a customer, all the way to the financial arm of the company. The finances come directly out of curbside. I'd say there's so many parts of curbside that can help out. I would seriously consider that software platform. Overall, that's one piece of the organization. We, as a full-service laundry center, we're fully staffed. There's a whole HR component to this, and growing a team and getting the right team, having strong leaders. I mean, we just had our first manager dinner about a week or two ago. It's coming together as a company.
I think also asking questions, not be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you're not understanding it, just ask. There are people out there that's willing to, answer your questions or to show you. And even on the Facebook groups that I'm at, I always tell them, if you want to see how Monster Laundry uses curbside, let me know and I'll just do a walkthrough with you. Or, go down to Supersides, because they're just so welcoming. Just asking questions, but definitely patience. I think it's a big thing, because we see a lot of like, you go to all these clean show, but like all the different conference, you see all these big shots that like, that's already made it, but you don't know what their beginning story is. You don't know how they've started or what they've done. So just ask questions, everything with a grain of salt, because what one person does doesn't mean that it will work for you.
I think that's great on-point advice, because people forget you're actually in the toughest part, which is getting the plane off the ground, hitting the accelerant, forming the team. You're spinning so many plates, and pretty soon those plates will spin more on their own. But you don't have to redo the branding. I mean, like so many different standard operating procedures, you're actually creating on the fly and making them part of the recipe for Monster Laundry. A lot of times when people are at different conferences and they're speaking from different things, they went through the same stuff you're going through right now, but as a few years ago or a while back. And so that's where I think your guys' story is so inspirational, because you guys are in it. I mean, you're still in that taking off period, that growth phase. You've got a great delta, meaning your month over month is doing better and better. So your trajectory is strong. I'm looking forward to checking in a few months, 6 months, year from now, just kind of seeing where you guys are at. But I think you guys are inspiration of how to do things right. And I think you're going to be seeing more and more of the fruits of your labor. So congratulations on creating a great service to the community.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Yeah, it's been a journey, and you've been part of it. Thank you for your help.
Don't forget to click like and subscribe. And feel free to engage and leave a comment. And if you see a comment you like, give it a thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds and it helps the channel grow. And if you'd like to learn more about the curbside laundries, pickup and delivery, and wash and fold solution, the same one that helped Craig and Michelle just kick butt, go to curbsidelaundries.com.